All right, live and direct from the planet of Queens, New York. Soccer Sensei, Rodrigo Salazar, Luis Altunda. We're here talking about the how many times can I say super because it's been postponed so many times. The Super Clásico between Boca and River, which is finally happening today at the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium in Madrid, of all places. As you guys know, or obviously you know because you're a soccer sensei, it's been it was postponed. It was rained out. There was people injured on the bus, and finally, CONMEBOL said, you know what, we can't do this here. We can't do this in Argentina. It's too dangerous, which I understand. I really can't say anything that's wrong about that. They're right. They're right. 100% right. Ellis, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Yeah, we waited for more than 8 hours for the return leg.
Yeah, me and Ellis were waiting at Banter. Shouts out Banter, Connor at Banter. We're gonna be doing some stuff over there for you guys. Waiting for the game. It's postponed. They're gonna play. They're not gonna play. Blah blah blah. Until they finally said that's not gonna happen. So it's really bad. Really bad. I mean, first of all, let's start off with how this makes Argentina in general look. Ellis, how does Argentina as a country, as a football mad nation, how does it make them look to the rest of the world?
You're right about the fact this was being the hosting party. This was the moment for them to show that they can be a hospitable country and capital in Buenos Aires that hosts what's called the biggest rivalry in the soccer world. But to begin with, the fact that for a few years now, the opposing fans have not been allowed in the hospitable stadiums. It begs the question. I mean, should this continue? Should this form of fanfare continue? And what are the causes of this? We do quite know that the presidents and the Barra Bravas, they're very well connected in terms not only on the field but off the field too. Mm-hmm. In terms of the election votes that some of these elements of Barra Bravas hold in their neighborhoods, and henceforth they pledge great number of votes when the presidents or the members of the high level members of these two clubs try to take public office, various levels of public office in Argentina and Buenos Aires. So it goes beyond soccer, to be quite honest. Just the fact that the evening before the match, very few people noticed that, but one of the Barra Bravas of River Plate, one of the main leaders, his house was ransacked by the police, and they found equivalent of $250,000 in cash in his house and 300 unused tickets. So it shows you that some of these are using these tickets and these positions in the soccer clubs for profit.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it makes the country look bad because the whole world is looking at this game. Everybody's watching it. Yeah. It's known as one of the biggest rivalries in the world. These clubs hate each other. They respect each other, but there's a lot of hate there. There's a lot of going back and forth. Let's not forget that about 2 years ago at the Bombonera, somebody from the Boca fan put tear gas on the River players, and they couldn't play because they were so messed up in their face and everything. So this goes way back to the 1900s when, as you may know, River Plate was started very close to Boca Juniors, which is in the neighborhood of Boca Juniors, and then they moved away to the nicer neighborhood, Palermo. Speaking of what you said about rival fans not being allowed in the stadium, I was there. I went to see a game at River. I'm a River fan, and I went there. It's very weird to see a full stadium of just one type of fan. But I think in this case, I'm glad it was like that because there would have been dead people at this 2 weeks ago whenever it happened, because. When the River fans were leaving the Monumental, there was a lot of police, interactions that were very violent. So imagine if it was River and Boca fans going out at the same time. Everybody's really pissed off because there wasn't a match. They spent so much money to, just not just for the tickets. How many people I know guys from River Plate Brooklyn. Shouts to them. They 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 flew down there. They flew down from New York City down to Buenos Aires to watch the game, and it didn't happen Saturday. You know how many people had a flight out that Saturday night, and it didn't happen Sunday. So it's like you really screw people over big time, and you really can't. It's not even you can't even fault CONMEBOL for taking this decision. It's the fault of you can't even blame River Plate. You know you can't even blame them because it was these fans that did it. I mean, can you stop these crazy guys from doing what they did? I mean, maybe more police, yeah, obviously, but it happened, and you gotta get past it now. You know.
Yeah, as you said, they have to work out. The president of Argentina said himself that they have to work out with the authorities, with the clubs, and put an end to this. England went through this in the 80s,
Yeah.
and we know that any signs of violence now in stadiums, hence comes a lifetime ban on any fan that's caught, let's say, throwing a bottle or getting into a fight or causing mayhem inside the stadium. So they're very tough on eliminating the violent factor.
The president of River, when they had an interview with him I think a couple of days ago, and he said, "Listen, we have to turn the page. What else can we do but turn the page?" And the match is today at 2:30. I know you guys are going to be watching it. We'll definitely be watching it.
I came to think one of the storylines that one of the positive, if you may call that, is Fernando Gago's return to his old club, to where he practically spent his youth, his youth years. Now he's returning to the Bernabeu, and who knows? Maybe it spins the favor to the Boca fans, and might in a way even change the starting lineup, because we've seen that no Gago or Tevez have been starting for their respective squad. So it could be some sort of an impetus for them to do better.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, as Riquelme calls it, what was to happen the greatest spectacle in CONMEBOL's history, as these two clubs have never faced each other in a continental level. We've been waiting in Europe for Real Madrid, Barcelona for many years, and it has not happened.
Yeah.
Always one of them gets eliminated at the semi-final stage of the Champions League. But where Riquelme is calling now a super friendly, as he's called it, it will feel odd in a way to have these two squads face each other.
Yeah, the first one was a tie, so it was pretty much levels, right? Obviously, then that was at the Bombonera, Boca Juniors Stadium. Now you were going to do it at the Monumental, so the tie's returning towards River's favor. Obviously, you know, at River's biggest stadium in Argentina is where the national team plays. I think like 70,000 people fit in there. But because of what happened, because the match isn't taking place at the Monumental, I would say a lot of people are saying that it's back on the side of Boca because it didn't happen there. That's why a lot of River fans were kind of like, about this match. They're like, you know what, this doesn't really count, doesn't really matter, because the tides have turned. Now they're back on Boca's side. But what I really think is going to happen is it's going to be packed. You know, there's going to be River fans back and forth. It's going to be kind of weird because, again, at the Monumental, it was just going to be River fans. So now you're going to have River and Boca fans going at it, celebrating, which I think is going to maybe tip the scales in for both guys. It's not going to be such a total Boca or River fan craziness, and then that does lead to something. They call it La Doce for a reason. La Doce is what Boca Junior fans are called. So I think in a way, it kind of levels it out. And it's going to be it's going to be weird for a lot of these players to play in a stadium like that, because for years now they've been playing at stadiums where it's only one type of fan or another type of fan.
Yeah, that's true. Without visiting fans.
Yeah.
And most of these players, let's not forget, they're very young in age, with the exception of Armani, Prato, Leoponzio, who's played in Zaragoza for many years, and of course Tevez and Fernando Gago. So this is an opportunity for them. The Bernabeu is one of the best places to play soccer ever, but I'm sure that no member of either team is happy to contest the final there. On a positive note, this seems like a 1-0 final in terms of them having drawn 2-2. There's no away leg rule So therefore, whoever wins,
Wins, yeah, that's it.
And if it's tied, whatever the scoreline is, they'll go to
penalties.
they go to penalties, and then.
And unfortunately, what's going to happen is if River wins, then Boca's going to be like, oh, it doesn't really count. If Boca wins, then River's going to be the same way. Unfortunately, it's going to happen. And it's like the game itself is kind of like the side note. You know, all these things leading up to the game have been even more of a storyline than the actual game itself. The game itself, before I let you guys go, I mean, I think it's. I mean, I have to say that Boca has the upper hand right now. They have less injuries. The guys are up for it. You know, I will say that the Boca fans were here. We're there at the in Madrid. They were out in force before the River fans really got on board. So I think that has a little bit to do with it. I just see like a 2-1 scoreline for Boca, unfortunately. What do you think?
Yeah, I do believe as well. Going back to the Monumental, I thought River had the edge, especially since we would see more than 68,000 fans. Of course, that makes a big difference. But now that the tide has turned, I agree with you, Rodrigo. I think with the experience that Boca have, they might come up on top.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, I know you're gonna be watching the game. Thanks for joining us on Soccer Senses. We'll be back next week, and hey, keep watching your soccer. Peace.